I'm out here with Tate at Mountain Cove Farms today. We're going to check out this course on a chilly February day. It's one of the higher rated courses in Georgia, but gets pretty rough ratings during the summer because apparently it doesn't get mowed that often. So we're going to check it out. It is in the middle of nowhere, but looks gorgeous. So hang with us and you get to see one of the more remote courses in the area. So we are adventuring up here in northwest Georgia. This is the RV park up on the property, and as you spin around you see in this beautiful mountain valley. There's a little pavilion where you have the drop box for your cash, and hole 1 is right behind here. Course map, I would recommend taking a picture, and right behind here we'll jump into hole 1. It is a nearly 800 foot par 4, and basically you just want to pump one out here as far as you can into this open field, much like I'm doing there. A little rust knocking off, but still getting about 400 down the fairway. And I thought I could go fairway driver here, get around that tree, but with all the brush, you're not getting many skips out here today. Basically, you're just trying to get it as close as you can, and for the most part, the ground's going to grab. As you can see, I had 2 really good shots and still had about 100 feet to go, maybe a little bit less, but kind of a half-hearted Anheuser run. But Tate will knock in his long putt there and looking good. So 2 is downhill. It's really short. It's only about 160 feet. Heiser chip shot or forehand Heiser, either way, is going to work pretty well here. You can see it's pretty downhill as well, so it probably plays more like 140. I ended up along that tree line, so you gotta be careful. 3, you're throwing through this tunnel, and then the basket's out in the field. I managed to get through and get out into the field, which is, I think, a good play. You could push a little farther, but there's more trees on the left if you do that. Kind of see how I ended up about 60 short. Gave it an honest run, but not quite enough courage. Hole 4, you get your first big booming downhill shot. This is another one in the 700 foot range, and I put my Lone Star curl out here on a really nice Heiser flip line and got down to the point. That turn is at 450 feet, and I'm just short of it, so like 425. Go with a fairway driver here, and actually it's tucked around further than I thought. So envy approach, and I'm not super happy with that, but not too bad. This is another par 4, 570 feet, so I'm just trying to smash my warhorse out there as far as I can, get a good approach. Here's the green. I ended up getting a 3 on that one, so nice hole. This one is about 415 uphill, and it was really challenging. Tate's taking that wide line, and I'm taking the Heiser flip backhand up the middle. Ended up with a 3. It is a par 3, but you really need to have a clean drive and then a good approach, which I was able to do there. Next one's a whole lot of fun. 531 feet downhill. I kept my drive really low because there was a big headwind, but still got down here pretty good. Get an approach. You can see where Tate is over there on the right. There's water over there, so you don't want to turn it over into that. Going over 400 feet again downhill. This one's about 465. And I think that I probably could have got down there if I wasn't a little trepidatious of the headwind. I was afraid it was going to push the disc too far, but left myself with about 80 to go. Gave it a little half-hearted bid, but at the same time, it's still downhill after that. This next one's a 600-foot par 5 on hole 9. You kind of just want to do what I tried here better. If you can put it at the mouth of that tree tunnel up there, that's ideally what you want to do. I was cut off a little short. And then throw uphill here, and then you got a basket on a hill with a drop off behind it, so not the easiest one. And hole 10 here, you just kind of want to throw a nice shot around this copse of trees. I had the right idea, but didn't get it turned over quite enough. Still easy 3 though. Another pretty straightforward shot out in the open. Kind of a little bit of relief after you come off those really long ones, having several in the 200, 300 foot range. A nice spike Heiser downhill here. And Tate had one of his best drives of the day right here. Pumping it over by that tree and letting it fade back.
It's gonna be nice.
And then we got another little chip shot. This one's 230 feet. I actually ended up well right, but you can see the basket's kind of tucked down here at the bottom of this hill. This shot was one of my favorite holes. I thought it was really interesting. It's about 450 feet, well downhill, and you can play either an S-curve shot or just go up over it like I decided to here. The pad was a little uneven, but still had a good look. And this one's another kind of funky multi-part shot, 600 feet.
That might be pretty good.
And the fairway curves well left and then whips back right. Kind of easy 250-foot par 3 here. You just kind of want to pipe one straight and then pitch up. And now 17 is one of your longer ones. It's 650 feet. I tried to go forehand roller, but didn't get it turned over quite enough. Ended up having a pretty long second shot, but it got up on the edge of circle 2. And 18, you end up by the parking lot here. And got a basket up on the hill. I left a little wide, but it's all right. If you made it this far, thanks for following us for our adventure on the edge of the mountains in northwest Georgia up to Mountain Cove Farms. Gorgeous property. Really enjoyed it. I think overall, there are probably, of the 18, 14 championship or near championship level holes. Tons of big downhills. You got water hazards. You have all the things on paper that make a really, really great course. The only things that hold it back are lack of routine maintenance. The lady at the general store where you go and pay at the beginning let us know that it was mainly maintained by the county road crews. So they only come through a couple times a year, and it's recommended if you're not playing in the winter like we were, that you call ahead and make sure that the course is in decent shape and has been mowed sometime in the last couple weeks. Overall, really enjoyed it, but there's just a few things that they need to probably update to make it great. They have those nice big wooden benches that were really nice on almost every hole. I think there was one broken one, but that happens out in the woods. Navigation in some spots is a little tricky, especially going from 2 to 3 is a little counterintuitive, and then from 13 to 14 was a little funky, but not too bad. There's not a whole lot of signage at all. There were signs on the tee boxes, but they're mostly broken and gone at this point. You might be able to glean a little bit of information from the broken ones that are left, but for the most part, they need to be replaced. And then there's no like next tee signs except for from 1 to 2, there is one. With those small changes, it could definitely bump it up in aesthetic a little bit. And the throw mat pads are just, they're not my favorite, and some of them are getting broken. The one on 18 is pretty demolished, and there's several more that are either they're not level, so they hold some water. It was not raining yesterday, but it had a couple days previous, and there was some puddles in there, and just not my favorite thing to throw from. They're fine, especially if it's dry, but not perfect exactly. So I would definitely recommend coming, but plan a day for it. You're an hour from the highway, no matter where you're coming from. And then it's, I would say if you're playing solo, you might could fly through it in 90 minutes if you're in good shape. It took us almost 3 hours to play it, but we were kind of taking our time. And for a group of 2, probably not the most fleet of foot, but overall, highly recommend going. For $5 a person, it's well worth it. And it's a very unique experience. It reminds me of some of the, mountainous private courses I've played, like Horning's Hideout or Flip City even, where you're in a little disc golf oasis. And I really enjoyed it, would like to go back. It just has a few things holding it back from being the elite course that type of property could turn into. So hopefully, eventually it gets there, or at least maintains where it's still playable for much of the year, and hope you guys make it up there and have a really great time. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.